Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ronald Regan Fox under Century Fox News United States. I'm going to interview this gentleman about the EU referendum to stay in. Is he campaigning for the United Kingdom to stay inside the EU under this kind of advertisement going on? So, what is your name, sir?
Alan Bedford.
Nice to meet you. I want to hear some points that you are to inform the public or the British economy about England staying in the EU. What are the points you have? Give me 5 points right now.
Right, okay, I'll give you 2 main reasons.
Yeah.
There's one, if you like, the economic reason.
Yeah.
If we actually leave the European Union, that basically will mean that our access to the single market and the trading with the 350 million people that are in Europe will be restricted, because whatever deal we may negotiate, we have no idea, it's never going to be as good as the one that we've got now.
Okay.
So at the moment we've got tariff-free access.
Tariff-free access?
There's no duties put on our goods when we send it to Germany or Italy or anywhere like that.
Okay.
And that means that if we leave, potentially they put tariffs on, and that then reduces the amount of trade that we do with Europe.
Okay.
That means really jobs.
Jobs, yeah.
You know, we trade sort of 20% less, there's 20% less jobs.
Okay.
That means less money into the government, which means less money for the national health, for the education, for all the services that we need to get.
That's right.
And, you know, support that people need.
Okay, I understand. Nice to meet you once again. Under my viewers, you can hear me right now under Ronald Regan Fox, under Century Fox, interviewing the gentleman about the EU referendum about the public of the United States, of the United Kingdom to stay inside the EU. Now I've got this view of this question that I want to ask you. Do you think that England or Great Britain, they are two-faced, that they want to deal with America and EU at the same time?
I don't know, two-faced is the word. I think
two-faced, what I'm trying to say is that England wants to deal with the EU and at the same time with Commonwealth countries or United States. Those are two-faced. Well, do you agree with that?
Well, certainly we trade with both the Commonwealth and with the United States.
Yes.
And with the European Union.
Yes.
But the European Union helps us within our trade with the United States.
Yes.
And the United States is actually quite keen on us being part of the European Union.
Okay.
Because of the influence that we exert within the European Union.
Within the European Union.
Britain's got a great tradition of human rights, of fair play and that sort of thing.
Great tradition of human rights, yes.
And that means that we are putting that into the mix as to the discussions within Europe.
That's right.
Encouraging the rest of Europe to follow suit.
Okay, gentlemen, as you understand right now under Century Fox News, you guys can hear this quite well. The points the man is trying to make the British to stay inside the EU. As you remember in the previous statement, I reviewed it according to the terms and conditions of the EU for England to stay inside the EU. Free trade. They're going to have power inside the EU, special status inside the EU, Great England to lead EU as the leading country inside the EU. These guys are campaigning for England to stay inside the EU as the best idea in 21st century Fox, because these are the 21st century. We are not living in the past, we are living in the future. Now, why do you think that some people, they still believe in the old school ideology of England to be outside of the EU to have their own powers? Because people are worried that England is going to be controlled by Brussels or European courts of law.
Well, I think there's this idea Leave have of sovereignty. It's a critical thing. Actually, sovereignty is about sort of sovereignty is a layered thing. So if you think about even about the UK, so there's some sovereignty in Scotland, there's some sovereignty in London, there's sovereignty for Croydon Council.
Okay.
You know, every layer of organised community has different powers.
Very good.
And really what we're doing with the European Union is we're sharing that sovereignty.
Okay.
And we've got more influence in Europe and in the rest of the world.
Very good.
As a result.
As a result, as you can hear that quite well, my viewers, please, this is very important for all of you in the United States, in Africa, in Europe once again. Now, another question I have for you is that, as an Englishman, do you feel it's good for you to be controlled by someone else in another country in Brussels? Because people have fear to be controlled.
I don't think we're controlled because at the end of the day, the European the mechanism for the European rules are created. It's a combination of the Council of Ministers, which is formed of the elected heads of state of each country. So we have our votes for David Cameron or Tony Blair or whoever it happens to be, just as the Germans and all the rest do. So they're part of the decision-making process.
Yes.
And as is the European Parliament.
Okay.
So we elect a member of the European Parliament.
Yes.
You know, if they're rubbish,
so you're part of,
because we voted for them. You know.
In other words, what you're trying to say that England is part of this big organization, this big enterprise of the European Union. It's all about fighting within, with privileged status of the EU, of the European community inside the EU, of England to be inside under special status. My viewers, you can hear that quite well. This is very important. Some people are confused, but it's time for England to be inside because we are into 21st century folks right now. We're into new generation. We are not living in the past. So people vote to stay in, to work with other people. You can't live alone because you cannot stay alone when your neighbors are at war.
I mean, I think you know, one of my emotional reasons why I'm doing this is in the sense it's like in the 20th century, Europe went to war, whole of Europe went to war 2 times.
Exactly.
And one of the reasons that the predecessors of the European Union was that it was to stop that happening. It was to encourage people to talk to each other and to talk
with their neighbours and
discuss trade and argue in a room rather than shooting each other.
Exactly.
And I'm a Christian, and it's really important to me that sort of cooperation and compromise, okay?
Yes.
Is good because
hold on, gentlemen.
There's a true biblical basis for that.
Yeah, I want to hold you to that because this is highly emotional and high conscious about people making a decision for your generation of your children of the future. This is the decision of your generation of the United Kingdom, of the generation of the children of the future of this country. So it's so sensitive. But the gentleman just said one point that is very good to everybody all over you is that when your neighbors are at war, you cannot get yourself out of your neighbors to stay independent. You need your neighbors to stay together because if they are at war in France or Germany or Brussels, everybody will be affected in England too. So you cannot move alone. You need these people to live alone. I'm going to conclude the point of England staying inside the EU by campaigning to everybody out there listening to me that England vote to stay in because it's the only way for the 21st century folks to stay inside, for you to fight with your neighbor, to be under a big organization than being lonely and alone by yourself, to be together. It's been a pleasure meeting you, sir. Nice to meet you once again. Under Ronald Regan folks, you people stay inside. Fight with them. Have special status inside the EU. Vote to stay inside the EU or European community all over you in the UK. It's time for you to be controlled, but you're going to be in to work within together. It's all about the power to go back to Brussels. Nice to meet you under Ronald Regan Fox, Century Fox News. Bye-bye. Thank you, sir.